my feelings. Try harder, but either way they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for brilliance. High level maintaining the building, we making a killing. Alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that silence never betrayed him. Keep your mouth shut, cause got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth is usually causing mayhem.
Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers, I'm aiming them. Enemies, I'm the enema, I'ma on them. Just like my keys, drop my on the dental work, my thoughts I keep confidential.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants. Two teams that met in Super Bowl 35 down in Tampa. The Ravens and Giants are underway. And how about this for a start? This is out of bounds. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start it.
Here we go, here we go.
A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4s hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. That hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Giants. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Going to run again here with Pollard. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him 2 on the play there. And it'll be 1st down, Giants. The Giants at 2-3 here to begin the new season. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 35-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get the field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
On 2nd and 10, Garoppolo. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. Past the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. The 40. 20. He will score. Touchdown, Ravens.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now Jones. And that will be incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth the salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hekker to punt it away. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Garoppolo on 1st down. And this is incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Harris running straight ahead. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place.
Here we go.
But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. On the give, this is Harris. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. 7-7, our score after 1. play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Garoppolo now. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Quarterbacks look all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On is the punter, Townsend, as he gets this one away. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind. That one brought back a few nightmares, because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there, having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where is he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. A nice little juke. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play, because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run. That's a positive play for the offense.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Throwing Jones. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick six on the other side, and now they get a pick six of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick six from earlier in this game.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handle it?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Here we go.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. There's Garoppolo to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks. Like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
Jones now to throw on third down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
So the completion good for just 3, and that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here we go, here we go.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
21. Here we go. 1, Omaha. 13.
Now Garoppolo looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. Garoppolo looks to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Giants take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Boswell good with the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They hand this off to Harris. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Here we go.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here we go. 65.
Garoppolo going to go on fourth down. Trying to lay one up deep. He's got a man, complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Greg Dulcich with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens will extend their lead here just before halftime. A gutsy call, 4th and short. They go for it. Look at the result.
Yeah, not only did they go for it, they threw for it. Because to me, it was stacked up for a run situation, strength on strength, and they decided to put the ball in the air. And what a result. Big-time play.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
But no kneeling for them. They decided they weren't going to run out the clock. They decided to take their shot downfield, hoping to either make a connection or a pass interference call. They wanted more points to put on the board.
To throw again on second down. Jones winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try to throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Jones, a final shot before break. Forced out to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he returns this to the 22. Offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They run again with Harris. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd.
21.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And finding the tight end, Hooper. But he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught, he'd have a good chance of getting that 1st down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. A solid stiff arm. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes, just to use a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, he's able to pick up the 1st down.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a 1st. On the ground, it's Harris. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the 1st down. So 4th down coming up. John Harbaugh sent on the field goal unit. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will extend their lead even further. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. first down, and it's Pollard again. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Brings up 2nd and 9. 18, Pioneer. 69.
Back to throw. Jones. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Hold on a second. Was that the fullback? That was the fullback. Who says it? The slot receivers are the only guys who can catch the football and get big yardage after the catch. Really nice job there. Showing good hands and an ability to get upfield.
A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Back to throw. Jones. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Third quarter from MetLife Stadium. Here's a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Jones in trouble here, and down he goes. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Xavier Woods with a pick, and the Ravens will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away, and frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
Here we go.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Garoppolo. And a completion to Wilson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal.
Here we go. 21.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
On third down, here's Harris. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Damian Harris hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. Taking it right down Broadway. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Denzel Mims, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants get a bit closer. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin off.
And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
And he's going to get this pretty close to the first down marker at the Giants' 40-yard line. 93 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. The Ravens on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hey, gun.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Garoppolo to throw for it on fourth. He's got Hooper on the short connection, and he'll be brought down at the 27. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on fourth. I got to be honest, I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down, but they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, the decision paid off indeed. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense, because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. That's swung out wide to Harris. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going...
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Rashad Bateman from 19 yards away. And the Ravens look like they're going to be moving to 6-0 as they extend that lead even further.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24.
Ravens 44, Giants 20.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear. And now here is another interception. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Harold Landry in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Take it in at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for Baltimore, they remain as hot as anyone at 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.